This is the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor FM News. Accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go there. We bring you the news behind the news. Honor FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
Wonderful afternoon and welcome to the World News on Honor 103.5 FM. First, the headlines. Afenifere wants House of Representatives against Indigenous Bill. Opposition party condemned President Tinubu, Vice President Shetima's frequent foreign trips. United Nations concerned over Niger's withdrawal from multinational joint task force. On the foreign scene, 27 Palestinians killed in Israeli airstrike and school in Gaza. In business, United States imposes 14% tariff on Nigerian exports, threatening $10 billion annual trade. In entertainment, comedian AY Marco challenges Nigerian banks over excessive charges. And in sports, Onuachu earns praise despite Southampton's draw against Crystal Palace. Now the news and details. I am Richard Ekpo. Let's begin with reports that the Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization, Afenifere, has expressed concern over a bill seeking to confer indigeneship on individuals who have lived in a particular area for 10 years or more. In a statement, Afenifere's National Publicity Secretary, Jare Ajayi, warned that the bill could worsen ethnic tension and violence. Afenifere noted that the bill's motive may be drawn by hegemonic desires, territorial expansions, or desire for power and influence. The organization recalled that clashes between indigents and settlers continue to occur in various parts of the country, largely due to inaction by those in authority. Afenifere urged the National Assembly not to pass the bill, instead advocating for efforts to restructure the country and promote a sense of belonging among all regions. The House of Representatives recently passed the Indigenous Status Bill for a second reading. Despite concerns from Afenifere and other stakeholders, the bill seeks to grant indigenous status and rights to individuals who have lived in a particular area for 10 years or more, or to women married to indigents of the area. President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shetima's frequent foreign trips have generated sharp criticism from opposition parties who label the travels as wasteful and insensitive to Nigeria's economic struggles. The coalition of United Political Parties, People's Democratic Party and New Nigeria People's Party expressed concerns over the President and Vice President's excessive travels abroad. The criticism follows President Tinubu's 2-week working leave in France and Vice President Shetima's trip to Senegal for the country's Independence Day celebration. CUPP National Secretary Peter Ame stated that President Tinubu's frequent foreign trips have created a leadership vacuum, negatively impacting various sectors in the country. Despite Deputy National Youth Leader Timothy Osadolo called the constant travel a sign of irresponsibility and lack of commitment to the Nigerian people. He emphasized that the ambassador or foreign ministers should handle many of these events rather than the president attending every event abroad. And away from Nigeria to an African scene, the United Nations Special Representative of Secretary General Leonardo Santos Simao has expressed concerns over Niger's decision to withdraw from the multinational joint task force fighting armed Islamist group in West Africa. Simao, who is also head of the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, emphasized the importance of the military coalition continued operations in the region. The multinational joint task force is currently the only operational security mechanism in the region mandated to combat the Boko Haram insurgency. The coalition comprises Benin Republic, Cameroon, Chad, and Nigeria. Simao noted that the stakeholders at the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum had stressed the need for continued diplomatic efforts and financial support to the force. Niger's decision to withdraw from the task force is reportedly driven by the desire to focus on protecting its oil operations, particularly a pipeline to Benin that has been repeatedly targeted by armed groups. The move raises concerns about the future of the coalition and the potential fragmentation of regional counter-terrorism efforts. And on the far east, at least 27 Palestinians, including children, were killed and dozens more wounded in an Israeli airstrike on a school in northern Gaza. The school, Dar al-Arkam, was serving as a shelter for displaced families in the Tifar district of Gaza City. According to local hospitals, the attack was particularly devastating, with many women and children among the casualties. The Israeli military claimed it targeted prominent terrorists in a Hama command center but made no mention of the school. However, the Hamas-run health ministry reported that 97 people were killed in Israeli attacks over the previous 24 hours. The Israeli ground offensive is expanding with the aim of seizing large parts of the Palestinian territory. And still on the foreign end, the Trump administration has fired General Timothy Haig, the head of both the National Security Agency and U.S. Cyber Command. Reason for his removal is unclear, but it comes after a meeting between President Donald Trump and far-right activist Laura Loomer. Loomer reportedly urged Trump to fire specific employees she suspected lacked support for his agenda. Loomer posted on his social media that General Haig and his deputy, Wendy Noble, before the firing were reported. Trump told reporters he would get rid of any staff deemed disloyal. This move has sparked concerns with top Democrats on the House and Senate Intelligence Committee expressing their worries. Representatives Jim Hims and Senator Mac Werner have called for an immediate explanation for the decision. General Haig's firing has been met with criticism, with many questioning the timing and reason behind the move. The National Security Agency has referred comments to the Office of the Secretary of Defense Public Affairs. Williams Hartman, the deputy at U.S. Cyber Command, has been appointed as the acting director of the NSA. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the World News on Honor 103.5 FM. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at Honor 103.5 FM. You can also listen to us live on Radio Garden at Honor FM Ibadan. Just stay tuned for business, entertainment, and sports.
Music.
The generator carry feelings for we them up.
Sport. Education, culture, impacts, information, varieties, business, entertainment. We have you covered on 103.5 FM. This is the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor FM News, accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go there. We bring you the news behind the news. Honor FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
You're welcome back. It's still the World News on Honor 103.5 FM. Let's hit the business desk, where a newly imposed 14% tariff by the U.S. on Nigerian exports poses a significant risk to the country's $10 billion annual trade with the U.S. Expert warns that this policy could disrupt key sectors such as oil, exports, and agricultural trade, potentially triggering a global trade war. The tariff is expected to raise prices for consumers, weaken the standard of living, and slow down manufacturing activities. Nigeria's oil earnings are also predicted to decline significantly due to the new tariff regime. The national president of the Nigerian American Chambers of Commerce, Sharif Balogun, noted that Nigeria has exported an estimated $277 billion worth of goods to the U.S. since 2000, with crude oil being the majority. Currently, Nigeria's exports to the U.S. average between $10 billion and $12 billion annually. In entertainment, public comedian and actor A.Y. Mako has sparked a national conversation after questioning Nigerian banks about the numerous charges deducted from customers' accounts. In a post on his social media page, A.Y. expressed concern about the massive profit declared by banks each quarter despite Nigeria's struggling economy. He demanded accountability, stressing that banks should be challenged with these charges. A conversation started by A.Y. He highlighted the need for greater scrutiny of Nigeria's banking sector. Many are now calling for a review of the charges and fees imposed by banks as well as greater transparency in their operations. AY's comments have resonated with many Nigerians who have long complained about the excessive charges levied by banks. The comedian's post has gone viral, with many calling for greater transparency and accountability from financial institutions. The Central Bank of Nigeria has faced criticisms in the past for not doing enough to regulate bank charges. And in sports, Southampton coach Ivan Juric has singled out Paul Onachi for praise despite a disappointing 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace at the St Mary's Stadium. Onachi opened the scoring with a towering header in the 20th minute, his second consecutive goal in the Premier League. The Saints seem headed for their third league win of the season, but Matthias Franca's stoppage time goal pegged them back. Despite the cruel ending, Juric passed Onachi's performance, highlighting his growing importance to the team. Onachi has now scored 4 goals and provided 1 assist in 20 Premier League appearances this season. His recent form has earned him recognition from his coach, and he will be looking to continue his scoring streak in Southampton's upcoming matches. And that was the World News on 103.5 FM, as edited by Adidamola Saka. I am Richard Ekpo. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
And that was the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor and integrity, our watchword.